You're listening to the ASOTU Sessions by Effectv live from ASOTU 2024. Welcome to ASOTU Conversation, sponsored by our friends at Effectv. This is their third year doing the show, and I am here with the one and only Jim Cullen, co-owner of Toyota of Marysville. Jim, welcome to the program.
Excited to be here. Excited.
So you come all the way from the West Coast to be here.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about your background in the industry, and then I want to get into what you're doing at your store and why it's so different than what we see in a lot of other places.
Okay. Well, my background is probably a little bit different. I spent a few years working for Toyota Motor North America. I had the opportunity to lead the sales divisions for both the Lexus and the Toyota divisions during my career. So been calling on dealers for a lot of years, and then Toyota said, hey, listen, we think we're going to move to Texas. My response was, you'll move without me. So at that point, time to exit for me. Was able to identify an opportunity just outside of the Seattle area. Went up and built a new Toyota store. We opened in July of 2018. And it's 6 years later. Can you believe that?
Man, I remember when it was like 3 years in.
Yeah.
You went into the store with a very specifically different approach to employment and sales model. And it open point, right?
Absolutely.
So you had to build from the ground up.
We built it from ground up.
Which takes some time. Tell me about your approach to your sales model.
Well, when open points are relatively rare, so there's a lot of data on an open point in terms of what is needed in that particular marketplace. So a new Toyota store, just outside of Seattle, we're about 40 miles north of downtown Seattle, but in sort of a fast-growing kind of suburban community, if you will. All the data was saying, that we were researching, was saying customers did not want to negotiate. I mean, that was the obvious data. We don't want to negotiate. So we started to really kind of dig into that and kind of try to study that model. Went and visited a number of stores, Avondale Toyota down in Phoenix, Crown Toyota in the LA area. We went and visited the Shump stores in Denver, Colorado. What an eye-opener. When we saw what they were doing, we made the decision, we're going to open the store, negotiation free, we're all in, and we started like that from day one.
So you opened it like that?
Absolutely.
What was the biggest pushback you got? And I don't know if it was from people, from the community, from the OEM, from fellow dealers. When you got pushback to that sales model, what was it?
We really didn't, well, first of all, we ignored the pushback because we thought we were doing the right thing. And we were doing the right thing from the customer perspective. So this really was going to be a customer-driven decision or a customer-centric decision. This was the right thing. So we ignored all the naysayers. Oh, you can't do that. Everybody's just going to put a price out there. You'll be the shopping store, and everybody will beat you by $100. Well, that's not really how that turned out. And if you look at the performance of negotiation-free stores, at Toyota across the country, Avondale Toyota down in Phoenix is in the top 10 volume stores in the country. In our specific region, in the Portland region, there are 7, Washington, Oregon, Montana, and Idaho. So within that 4-state region, we have 7 negotiation-free stores. So 10%, the 10% number you use, 10% of the stores in the Portland region are negotiation-free. Wilsonville Toyota outside of Oregon, one of the top 5 volume stores in the region. Beaverton Toyota in Seattle, 2 negotiation-free stores, Toyota Seattle and us, which is Marysville Toyota.
So to run a store on that type of model, people have an expectation when they come in, both on the sales side. I also think it changes people's perspective on the service side as well.
It does.
I don't hear a lot of conversation about the service side of a single point of contact or single price dealership How would you say the service experience needs to be different in a store like that?
Well, I think the service, I don't think we're paying as much attention to that service process when customers are coming into the store. We're trying to give it sort of an approach of going to the dentist's office, if you will. You go to the dentist, they know you're coming, they've confirmed your appointment, you get there, and then the dentist has a plan for you, right? He looks at, does the x-ray? Here's your plan, Jim. Now, we're probably not going to do this all of today, but over time, here's what we're going to do. And so rather than make it painful for customers when they come into your dealership, they know, here's the plan for your car. We're probably not going to do it all today, but we could do it over time, and it makes it less sort of a hard additional sales environment for service.
Tell me about your approach to staffing, because explain your situation. There aren't many stores in the country I've ever heard of that are, maybe you are the only one that hits these percentages, but you've started out this way, you've stayed committed to it, and the results show that it's working. So why don't you give us the flyover?
The one thing that we didn't count on in terms of staffing the dealership with a negotiation-free sales model was how many women were going to show up. Absolutely shocked us.
Show up to buy or show up to work?
Show up to work. So you take all of the nonsense out of the heavy negotiation. Women don't want to do that. Don't want to do it. Ain't going to do it. Don't think you're going to go out and hire women in a traditional model. They ain't showing up. But they showed up at our doorstep, and we were like, okay, now what do we do here? And so we had to invite people into the dealership. We have 80 employees at Marysville Toyota. Over 60% are female. That's everything. Female technicians started showing up. All right, what?
And there was no special effort there,
No special effort. It was just, we changed the culture, and when the culture changed, people began to get comfortable and were welcome to our dealership. And we were just really, we still, today are trying to make sure that we understand that and we embrace the culture that we have and try to support people where they are in our environment.
Well, let's try to shake up a little bit of thinking, because are you single point of contact?
Single point of contact.
Okay. I think there are a lot of dealers who are kind of circling the concept of either fixed price, like one price selling, or single point of contact. Usually they can go together really well.
Yeah.
Right. What would you say to the people who are like, that would never work at my store, and then there's this next layer into the center that are like paying attention to it, considering whether or not it would work? What would you say to the people who are in consideration right now?
Well, I would tell everybody to go do their own research. I mean, you got to go see some other stores and take a look.
Right, so you're saying research is go.
Go and see.
It, feel the culture, right? Watch it happen.
In the world of Toyota, where I came from, they used to call that Genji Genbutsu. Genji Genbutsu is go and see. So you got to go see for yourself what it is, how it works. For us, and I'm going to go back to the fact that we have so many women that work for us. I cannot imagine running a business where you eliminate half of the talent pool. How does that make sense? You eliminate half of the talent pool, and then you expect that your business is going to grow. You're going to have all the talent, all the knowledge, all the enthusiasm. It doesn't make sense to us. So we are very excited that we welcome people into the business. The challenge is people see it, well, if you're delivering a great customer experience, that overweighs so much of the back and forth on price. It really does. And we're able to measure all of the data points in terms of pricing. I mean, between a traditional store, Toyota provides us with the comparison data. So between a traditional store and my store, maybe there's, by model, a difference probably about maybe $100, maybe $200, maybe $300, depending on the model. between on the front end gross. So then what are we talking about? We're really only talking about the back end, and that's really the challenge, and that's what scares a lot of dealers. But there is a major difference between what you pay in a traditional store and what I pay. Salary, bonus, there's a big gap. Chargebacks look a whole lot different. And I think you got to look at the entire picture. That's what a dealer has to investigate.
How about throwing retention in there?
Oh, retention is absolutely amazing. When you look at retention, the Toyota folks know Toyota measures retention by TLE. Our TLE is off the charts. So we don't have to worry about TLE and grinding, trying to meet Toyota standards. I think that's very important. And then we use another metric, that TPS performance guide, where we try to look and measure loyalty. Our scores typically run in the 50% to 80%, minus 100, top 100. And that 50% to 80% is kind of considered world-class.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'll kind of take world-class experience.
You and Perry.
My business partner, Perry Watson.
You are always thinking of something over the horizon. Mm-hmm. So what are the things, like a lot of people would look at your store and be like, okay, very progressive model, progressive employment plan, that's out there. But what things, there are also a lot of dealers who are doing those things. What are you and Perry kind of like cooking up over the horizon? Where do you see your opportunity for growth and improvement and maybe like shaking it up a little bit more?
I'm suggesting to all the traditional dealer models, don't change, stay the same. Don't even do nothing different.
Don't go visit anywhere.
Don't do nothing different.
No, but what things in their store? Do you have any employment practices? Do you have any sales or marketing techniques or anything that you're kind of like, let's try this year?
I think we want to do more focused on brand because of the fact that we are we partnered with the Shump organization, and we've licensed one person, one price, and 1 hour. So we're going to try to take that one person, one price, 1 hour, and when we first did that, we launched the 1 hour probably about a year and a half ago. I was absolutely scared to death. But the 1 hour is, by the time we all agree on all the paperwork, we can get the paperwork done in an hour. Haven't had hardly any bad, I don't think we've had a bad survey that somebody has said you didn't get it done in an hour. Once you can make the commitment, we get you done in an hour.
There you go. Parting words. Well, let me ask you this. Do you host people at your store? Do people come and see?
We do, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
So there you go. If you had an idea that you might want to explore this a little more, brought him right here. Right? Jim's the guy. I have to come visit you still.
You owe us a visit.
I do owe you a visit.
You owe us a visit.
Jim, thank you so much for being gracious with your time and your wisdom.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for listening to this ASOTU session by Effectv. If you want more content like this, you can check out our other podcasts. We have a daily show called The Automotive Troublemaker, Monday through Friday. Here on podcast, also live streamed on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. We also have a long-form podcast called Auto Collabs. And if you just want to go a little deeper into this community, you should sign up for our regular email. We put our heart and soul into it. You can get it for free by going to ASOTU.com. We'll see you next time.